Hey guys, my name is Samson Mzera and I'll be taking you through a complete market mastery series of trading. So you've probably heard about trading either from a friend or somewhere online, and it's probably been very difficult to find a complete guide on how to do so. So in this series, we're going to just do that, from setting up an account to coming up with the right indicators and the right analytical tools to use, all the way till having a trading strategy and a risk management plan. So first off, we'll need a regulated broker, and that's where we'll type in FXPesa, which is both regulated and provides you the support you need to conduct your or to have your trading journey kicked off. So that way, let me just type that FXPesa in there. So on the search results, just go to the first link that you see, that is the FXPesa official website, and then from there just click on start trading. So you can opt to start with either a demo account or you can go straight to the live account, but first you will need to create your account by submitting details. So in this case, let me just submit mine over there, first name, and then, so the middle name is optional. I can go ahead to that, and then the email address. And then finally, you need to submit the number. It's a very simple and straightforward process. And while I type this, you will receive support in the event you're not so sure or you've registered your account halfway. So let me just click on that. Make sure to select the city you're in. So we'll just do Nairobi and then click on next. So that is the first step of signing up for your account details. Next, you input your date of birth. So I'll do that over there, nationality, and then other details about your address, like that. So make sure if you're trading and you're not a citizen of the US to leave on that as a no over there, and confirm all the other details are filled correctly. So it's a three-step registration process or account application process. The last stage of the process is knowing your trading experience and your financial status and things like that. So this is very straightforward. Make sure you know if, for example, you don't have any experience, just click on no. It will guide you to the demo account, and then simply create your password. Now for the password, it's you have a guideline over there on what password to use. So it just has to have a mix of special characters and uppercase and lowercase letters and at least a number. And then after that, you're in. So that's how you create your trading account and submit your application. So it's very straightforward. Within less than 10 minutes, your account is up. Final thing that you'll need to do is upload your ID card, a photo of your ID card or passport in the case for verification. So we'll just wait for this to load. And there we go. So it's going to prompt you to upload your ID card, but in this case, we'll be starting out with a demo account. So the prompt for uploading your documents is at the top. So you'll have to click on upload documents and either upload them from your device or take a photo of them. So the FXPesa platform or the portal is very straightforward. At the landing page, you have your account summary, which shows you details of your account, including your balance, any credit, deposits, total withdrawals, and then from there it moves on to the live accounts. So this is the section that you can see all the live accounts for this particular app. So you can have at least 3 accounts for live and 3 accounts for demo. So that's one thing to note. And you also have a wallet that allows you to segregate your capital or your funds from the trading account. So this is a very good way to keep different strategies separate and to keep different accounts separate and in check. So once you've done that, I think we will proceed to create a demo account for the purposes of this series. So first, select the type of account. When creating your new demo account, you have 3 options and you're good to go. The first one is the platform. Now, FXPesa has 3 platforms. You have the Equity Trader application, which you can find the link in the description on how to go about that. And we have the MetaTrader 4 application and MetaTrader 5 application. So it's recommended you use the latest trading platform, and that's why we're choosing the MetaTrader 5 application. Then under account type, we have two types of accounts, the standard account and the premier account. Now, the standard account is good for beginners because it has a very low minimum deposit, while the premium account is good for those professional traders who want really tight spreads on their trading. So after you've selected the type of the account and the currency, then finally you can enter the same password, the same portal password you had, and just like that, your account is ready to go. So you'll be provided with details that you will use to link on your MetaTrader 5 application. So number one is the account number. So I'll just write that over here. And then you have number two, the server and the portal password. Now this is what you use on MetaTrader 5 application to link your account. Now, once you've taken note of the details like this, go to your Play Store or Apple Store, and so let me just do that. So go to the App Store and just type in MT5, and this should get you to the application. Mine is already installed, as you can see. So just make sure you install that application and then open it. So once it's opened, you have three sections down here, and your work is to just link your account. So at the bottom there, we have your quotes, your charts, your trade, your history, and your settings. So you need to get into your settings and then select the new account area. So just click on new account, which is the first option over there like that. And you will need to type the server that we had. So in this case, the server was EGM Securities server. So I'll just type EGM Securities, and just like that, the server appears over there. Simply select on it. And then now the details we had from the website is what you use over here. So the account number like that, and the password that you kept. And then from there, just proceed to sign in. Okay, and that's it. You should be able to see your demo account balance if you signed in with a demo account. If you signed in with a live account, just change the server to a live server, and that should bring the details for your live account, including if you've deposited, the balance should be reflecting there. So at the bottom there, we have four important trade icons. The first one is your quotes section, which shows a list of things you can trade. Second, we have the chart section, which is the actual chart that you'll be using to trade. We have also the trade section over here. So these we will discuss because they are things to do with balance, equity, and free margin that we will talk about. And then the history. So the history is where you can see all your trades and things like that. So first things first, your quotes section. Again, so we said here is where you can see all the list of items that are available for you to trade. And as you can see there, we have Euro USD, GBP USD, all these currencies over here for trading. So the first thing that you notice, number one, is there is the symbol, the bid, the ask, and the day's percentage change. So just to quickly get through everything, if I click on Euro USD, it shows me the full name of that pair. So most currencies are quoted in pairs, yeah, and in acronyms. So if you want to know the full name of the currency you're using, then you simply tap on it and it's going to show you the full name. And we have major currency pairs that a lot of traders trade. So major currency pairs simply are the most popular traded assets on the platform by any forex trader or currencies trader, and we have 8 of them. That is number one, the euro, the Great Britain pound, the US dollar, the Swiss franc, Canadian dollar, the Japanese yen, Australian dollar, and the New Zealand dollar. So those are your major or the main pairs as a currency trader that you will be looking at. And if you go to the platform, we can see that they are combinations of either one of those. So here, for example, you have Euro USD, which is, those are two main currencies. That's the euro versus the dollar. We also have GBP USD and the likes. So how do you read these quotes? First things first, all the quotes are quoted in twos. So the currency on the left is always having a value of 1, and the currency on the right, that's what you can see on the bid or ask price. Yeah, so let me just repeat that again. The currency on the left always has a value of 1, and the currency on the right is the price of that one thing you're buying. So for example, in this case, Euro USD over here, we are seeing the price is 1.07756 on the bid and 1.07789 on the ask. It's on a weekend, so the prices aren't really changing. But that is the amount in dollars that you will use to buy 1 euro. Yeah, so you're always reading it from the left going to the right. Yeah, so what is the bid and ask? Anything that you trade on the market usually has two prices because it's a two-way market. You can both buy or sell from the market. So that means you have two prices. If you are to go to a supermarket, for example, you only have one price, and that is the buying price. So I can only buy a book, for example, at a fixed price. But in the exchanges or in the currency markets or financial markets, you can have both. You can be both a buyer or a seller. That means you can participate in the market on either side of the transaction. So the broker is going to give you an alternative selling price that is different from the buying price. And that's why we have two prices for each pair or item on that list. Yeah. So the ask price as a trader is how much or the price you use to buy, and the bid price is the price you get from selling 1 euro. So remember, you're still in that example of Euro USD, which is on the bid and the ask. And then the day percentage, as you can see over there, that's just how much the currency has changed from the start of the day. Yeah, so that's from midnight today. Okay, so we have a list of currencies over there, and you can add or remove symbols or currencies from this list. For example, I can add something else. We can try one of the measures, a different combination, maybe Euro and Japanese yen. So immediately I type EUR, I can see suggestions that are appearing on the list. And the first suggestion there is Euro Japanese yen. So the suggestions go with popularity. So what is the most popular pair to trade? In this case, Euro JPY, I simply click on the add sign and it adds it to the bottom of my list. So you can see Euro JPY at the very bottom of my list. The bid is 161.832 and the ask is 161.895. So that's very straightforward. Okay, so how do I edit this list? I can change what I see on the quote section by clicking on the top right icon, that icon that looks like it has a lot of dashes over there, and I can choose from that list what exactly it is I want to see. So I can remove the percentage change of the day and add one of these things. For example, I can add the spread, yeah, or I can add some other important information that I need. But for now, we'll just leave it as bid ask so that we have a very clear and straightforward list over there. Okay, so you can edit the arrangement of how these icons or these pairs appear on your list. Remember, as traders, you don't necessarily have to trade everything on everything that you see. Most traders start out generally and then they end up specializing on a few currencies or a few asset classes. So for that, we have the icon on the top left section. If you click on that, it gets you to the edit view, and over here you can edit what you want to see, what you don't want to see. So there's that pen icon that has appeared on the top right. So if I just click on that, I can now start selecting whatever it is that I want to delete or even change how these icons are arranged. So for example, I can bring Euro JPY to the very top of my list. Maybe that's a priority for me as a trader. And then I can remove whatever it is I want to remove by simply selecting and then clicking on the delete icon like that. So that's very straightforward. Gives us to that view, and then we can always just go back to our main view. Yeah. Okay. So another thing that's very interesting about MT5 is you can get a detailed description of whatever it is you're looking at. So if I click on, for example, Euro USD, I can get to a very detailed page of what Euro USD is about. So at the very top, that's Euro versus US dollar. And then it tells you the asset class. So in this case, it's a currency. And all these other terminologies over here, all these other names over here, we're going to talk about in a few minutes. But this is where you can get a detailed description of whatever asset you're trading. Now, currencies are not the only asset class that is available on the platform. You can always get other things on the platform. So currencies are just but one of the items to trade, and for that we have different other asset classes that you can trade. Okay, so if I select, for example, the enter symbol, I can see a list of categories on the platform. So you can see, for example, commodities, futures, indices, metals, oil, crypto, and those other ones that you're seeing over there, that's just stocks. Yeah, so you have more things to trade than just currencies, although currencies ideally is your starting point as a trader. Now let's talk about the other asset classes. For example, you have commodities. As you can see there, you have things you can trade like cotton, cocoa, coffee, the like. So your usual commodities are there for you to trade, and these are usually in the form of futures, because that's how most of these commodities are treated in the market, as futures. Next, we have actual futures. So these are things that aren't really commodities, but are also in a contract format. So most assets in finance, if you cannot find them on the market as is, they usually converted to futures. So a future is just an agreement on a future price of the asset. Simply put, that's it. Yeah. So for example, here you have copper futures, Eurobond futures, and natural gas. So these are things that for you to trade, you probably need to do a bit more of analysis, but still they're there for you to sort of explore. Next, we have indices, and indices, we have so many categories of indices, and an index basically is a price that tracks a number of stocks together. So the investors who opt to choose for stocks, to invest in stocks, and the guys who just want to trade it as a price. So an index gives you a very good proxy of what a group of stocks is doing. So in that case, we can select on one, and there you can see that the standard format for EGM securities for labeling an index is the country and then the number of stocks or the number of companies that index tracks. So for here, for example, you have China 50. So obviously that's stocks in China and the 50 of them. So that index is tracking 50 companies in China. Then we have Singapore, which is Sing 30, and then Hong Kong 50. So that's very straightforward. There are a lot of traders who trade indices, and people love indices for the volatility. But again, if we are beginners, we will just focus on currencies before moving on to that. Next, the next list, which is the more popular list, and this is where you find the American indices, the European indices, and the UK indices. So in this case, we have the UK 100. That's an example of an index. It tracks 100 companies in the UK. We have the DAX, in this case it's DE40, so it tracks 40 German companies. Then we have the US 30 and the UT 100. So the most popular indices you'll see on the platform are the American ones. That's the UT 100, the US 500, and the US 30. So you can spend some time on this section and just see what other things you can trade. But in most cases, you'll have your assets behaving the same way when it comes to technical analysis, a concept we will talk about in a few minutes. So these are your categories available. So when you talk about trading, especially for guys who talk about Forex trading, it really encompasses more than just currencies trading. So that's one thing you need to note. So once you have identified an asset that you want to trade, you can simply add it back to this chart. So we can, for example, add US 500. That's the index we have talked about. Just simply click on the plus sign. So there's a difference between the rolling futures, for this case in EGM, and the futures that have an expiry date. So you'd want to pick the rolling futures if you want to trade it continuously over time. So I'll just click on the add sign like that, and it's going to come at the very bottom of my list. Yeah. So what have we learned so far? We have managed to set up an account. We have managed to go through the MT5 platform on what exactly we can trade, and simply put, now we're going to go through analysis and the basics of how do I know what I want to buy, how do I participate in the market. Yeah, so in that case, you're going to choose an asset that you want to trade. I'll click on EuroJPY. Again, once you tap on that, you'll realize that there's the trade, the chart, the details, statistics, and there's the delete option if you want to remove that from your list. So I'll simply click on the chart for now, because traders need to do analysis before you get into deciding what it is you want to buy or to sell. Okay, so you can notice that at the bottom of the screen, we've moved from the quote section to the chart section, and we're going to go all the way till the settings section. So just stay put. Now, once you have selected what it is that you want to trade, by clicking on the currency that you want and then clicking on the chart, it takes you to the chart. Now, you notice that the chart looks a bit different from what we're used to. Most charts are usually just line charts, yeah? But in this case, we have what we call candlestick charts. So we're going to talk about that for now. So if I zoom this in, you can see that there are two types of candles. That's the red candle and the green candle in this case, yeah? Those are called, the red candle is typically called the bearish candle, or a candle that indicates downwards price movement, and the green candle is an up candle. So it just shows you price that has moved upwards in a specific time frame. Yeah. Now that's another concept that we need to talk about. If you see, for example, at the top right of this screen, it's written Euro USD M1. So that's simply the time frame that these candles represent. So in this case, for example, M1 means 1 minute. So all these candles take 1 minute to appear. So after a minute is done, another candle appears. Now, the red candle shows you downwards price movement within that 1 minute. So the body of the candle itself will show you that this price moved lower within that minute, and the current minute you can see over here is that small green candle. So that shows you that there was price movement upwards within a minute. Now I can change this. I don't really have to be trading in 1 minute. So talking about time frames, we can change the time frames, and this really affects how you as a trader behaves when it comes to what times are convenient for you. So at the top left, you can see the icon for time frames. Currently it's written M1. So if I just click on that, I can see all the other time frames over there. So M1 means 1 minute. And if I go to the right, there is the 15 minutes, the 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours daily, and so on and so forth. So standard time frame for most traders is usually the 1 hour. It's right in the middle between the very low time frames and the very high time frames. So that's a good time frame to begin with, in my opinion. So this indicates how long a candle takes to appear, and it really builds into what type of traders you are. So there are guys who prefer to trade on very short time frames, and that way you'll be looking at anything below 30 minutes going downwards. That is, each candle should take a very short time to appear so that you have enough time for analysis and you get into your trade. The guys who prefer trading larger time frames, and that's anything above the 1 hour time frame. So in this case, for example, I can opt to be trading on the 4 hour time frame. Remember, price is the same everywhere. The time frames just show you the price movement within a certain time range. Yeah, so if it's the 4 hours, for example, that is, I'm looking at the 4 hour chart, each candle takes 4 hours to appear, then that dictates how long I should be waiting for a new candle and how long I should be judging my analysis. So for example, if you're very busy, maybe you're a student or you're working and you just need to be looking at the chart maybe once a day, you can opt for a very large time frame, for example, the 4 hour time frame or the daily time frame. And if you have more time on your hands and you want to get in and out of trades very quickly, then in that case, I'd be looking at anything below the 1 hour time frame. So I hope that's very clear. And that's how we read the time frame. So next to the time frame icon, we have that icon that is the crosshairs. Yeah, so the crosshair just gives you a good way to point around your screen because it tells you both the time and the price of whatever candle it is you're pointing at. Yeah, so going forward, I'll be using this to just show you around the charts. Okay, next we have our indicators icon, that is the F icon. So if you're using a different device, that's the wavy icon with 2 lines over there. So this is where a big chunk of analysis will begin, and this is in our next episode. The link will be in the description below. So big chunk of our technical analysis as traders, we will be using that F icon over there. And then next we have the objects icon. Again, on our 3rd video, we'll be covering how to draw objects and how to use them in our analysis. Yeah. And then finally, we have the trade icon. So there are 2 of them. There's the one that looks like a circle that allows you to place pending orders. And then there's one that looks like a rectangle, the rectangular icon, and that's the market orders. So based off of that, you already know that there are 2 types of orders in the market. The first one is the pending order. Yeah, I don't really need to be on my charts every time to place a trade, and that's where the pending orders comes in. Yeah, if I want, for example, price to be executed at a certain price and I won't be around to wait for the market to come to that price, then I can simply put pending orders based off of that circular icon. So I can decide whether it's a buy, trade, or I can toggle that button over there for it to be a sell. So if prices drop from where they are, I'm using the crosshair, to where the red line is, where it's reach and sell stop, then that's where we'll automatically sell. So pending orders are very important for traders who don't have a lot of time to spend in the market. And then we have market orders, and as you can see, that's the icon on the top right. If I press on it, it keeps on toggling between switching on and off the buy and sell buttons. Yeah, so we've gone through all the icons at the top of our MetaTrader 5 platform under the chart section. Yeah, so if I place a trade, I'm going to be guided to the trade icon at the bottom. So MetaTrader 5 is very intuitive, it's very straightforward. The top, at the bottom, you have all the icons you'll ever need. First, we've talked about the quote section, the chart section, and now we're at the trade section. So if I execute, or if I place a trade on this section, if I say, for example, click buy or sell, I'm going to see that trade on the trade section. So this is where I can see all my active trades. Unfortunately, right now the markets are closed, so we won't be able to do that, but this is where I'm going to see a list of all my trades. At the top, it's written balance, equity, and free margin. Yeah, so the balance is how much you have on your account. The equity is how much you will have when you're in profit or loss. So this is the balance plus or minus your profit or loss, depending on what the trade is about at that point. And then the free margin is how much you need for each trade. So depending on how much you've traded on the account, there's always going to be a free margin at the top that dictates you if you're able to get into other trades. So that's very important. And then finally, we have the trade history. Now this is where you can gauge your performance as a trader, and it's good also to have a demo account that you're going to use to see if things are working for you before you even try and venture into the live account. Yeah, so this is where you monitor your progress, track yourself as a trader, see if you can be able to make money and how much money for that sake. Because one of the questions that traders ask is, how much money can I make in trading? You can only find out that after you've placed trades on your demo and you're able to view them from the history section. So once you have a strategy in place and you have been able to test it, you'll have a very good idea of how much that strategy can make you from the history section. Yeah, and then finally we have our settings, and this just adjusts whatever it is on the account that you want to adjust. For example, you can add more accounts, so you can have multiple standard accounts or premium accounts from EGM if you want to think of it that way. So if you have a different strategy, for example, you can add a new account for that strategy and the likes. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for our tutorial on MT5, and that brings us to the conclusion of this video. So we've done 3 basic things. We've learned how to set up our account, and that is just going to do a quick search on FXPesa, and you're going to get to the step where you just click on start trading and then just enter your details. It's very straightforward, and there's always support to help you with that. Next, we've gone through a basic tutorial of what the trading platform is like. We've just done the MT5 platform for now, but if you want to use the Equity Trader app, there's a link in the description that will help you with that. And finally, we have done a basic overview of terminologies or things you need to know about the trading application. And having said that, thank you for joining me on this session. It's been a pleasure having you, and see you all in the next video, which will be technical analysis. So there we're going to get into what the charts are, how do I know if I'm going to buy or sell, and the basics of technical analysis, including, and this one you'll have to go to the video, a strategy for beginners that you're going to provide for starters. So thank you again for joining. See you in the next video.